We are live on ShaggyTV at the world famous Knoxville Raceway out in the Midwest here, Iowa. Doing a little dirt track in here. We got the 410s coming out and playing tonight. Should be a good one. Don't see, it's terrible. I can't even remember his name, but when Cardoza, I remember the last name. He won last week. Don't see him in here so far. I'm seeing 4 drivers that haven't put in a time. You're going to see 8. Looking at 12 in the session right now at the moment. So we'll have to see who decides to come out and play here tonight. But let's actually see something here. Let's give us temperature. Yeah, well, 78 degrees. See the dew point there, the humidity, 45%. Probably shouldn't get too much moisture, I would think. Not going to have a lot of heat. I mean, obviously, it'll lose a little bit. Should be pretty good for racing here. Not a bunch of guys. Should be plenty of grip all over that racetrack. So I would imagine, with that being said, not a lot of guys right now. They'll probably want to run as much more practice here as they can. As I say that, Rick's going to pull in off. See if Nick is going to stay out there. Nick Larry rolling around in the 43 machine here. Good line there through 2. Maybe bikes down a little bit early. Might want to keep the right rear on that cushion, the left rear, right underneath. You can see he kind of drives underneath there and then rides back up. But all in all, pretty good line here for a man running around P5. See, actually, we got plenty of time. Not a lot of guys out there. Well, let's be honest, that's the world's worst camera. I can't believe I still haven't changed this for the 410s. We have practice time stuff. Anybody ever, I've got people who have asked me, hey, how do I do this? Well, down on, we're clicking the wrong one. Now we move the keyboard a little bit. Let's move this down here on the side. I'm not kidding. I wish that wasn't testing me. Let's see, is it Maine? All right, we're gonna hang on. We gotta Google ME state abbreviation. Is that correct? Yes. All right, nice. Oh, 15 years old. I don't know if that's actually true or not. So we think a young buck out there running around with the sticks up in Maine. Got the doc out here in front of him, Mike Watson. Watson driving around the 6 machine tonight. Test out some of these different cameras here a little bit. Make sure they're all good. Because when you saw the save files, it made me wonder. I probably just didn't load it up. Yeah, everything looks okay. And nice little overview here in turn 3. See a lot of, maybe not a lot of 3 wide, but a lot of slide jobs. Here entering turn 3. This is one of my favorite cameras to kind of hang out and watch that middle part of the race. See a lot of guys make some pretty aggressive moves, and well, this is coming off of turn 2. These cameras, this is another one, like I said to you before, I normally do 360 leagues, and I can see how loud this is screaming. We got a little bit busy tonight. We didn't get a chance to set up the room early, and normally that's when I don't drag you guys into this and I change all those bike volumes, but we had already kind You're subject to some of it tonight. My apologies. Not normally the case. See the flag stand over there if you park it in the middle of 1 and 2. That Joseph Groom is the first guy it was. He's going to try to break in that top side. And, you know, I'm right on board with the driver of the 11 here. That's what I'd be doing if I was out there. Try to make another groove. Just give yourself an option just in case you don't have the best qualifier. You've already started to kind of chip away at the top. Wear it in a little bit is Rick Main. He's going to practice celebrating. He rolled it in the pits. That's not something you want your mom to see. He's still got a park there. Hopefully the fuel ain't leaking out of it. I don't know. Rick might like that. Got the Hinkle Holmes. Oh, I have to turn my head, but let's see. It says Slideways on the wing, I believe. So far, nobody else making a surprise show here. I don't see clicking on these guys that haven't put a lap time in. They aren't in another session because, well, I'm clicking on him and you see the camera went away from Rick Main. That just means they're not around. Because some guys kind of hanging out in pit road. Grady Airman, 5 machine. Can't tell which one is Grady here. It says he's there. Oh, he's inside of another car, I think. Unless he's just in the. Oh yeah, because that would be Nick Larry. So Grady and Nick sharing a pit box, I believe. Oh, that has to be Grady. Never mind. Look at it. I gotta learn to read. I mean, it says Airman right on the front of it. So definitely gotta be Grady. Okay, I just saw what you said there, John. Let's see. Let me turn myself up. It's definitely probably a little bit of those 410 camera views, especially when I'm. Or the 410 motor, excuse me, especially when I'm kind of parked by the side here. We'll see. I've got myself going in the yellow now, so I should be loud enough. Now I worry maybe I'm a little too loud for the sprint cars. Yell at me, let me know what's going on. Main pulling back out on the racetrack. Isaac Bowman driving around here in the 9 machine. Isaac talked about him last week. Has the Steve King Foundation on the top wing. A wonderful charity. If you're ever interested in supporting guys that support racers. Amazing, what they do to help families who have gotten hurt, help them pay for financial bills, stuff like that. Pit road members getting hurt, dumb stuff. Stuff happens. Race world pretty fast. Man, not always covered for it. So people like that over there at the Steve King Foundation do wonders for people in the dirt world. And we got Joseph Johnson sitting on pit road, and beside him, Luke Mumma. They're in their own room here, I believe. Yeah, go back over. So they're the 2 guys that have ventured off into their own land. As you can see, we're almost out of time here for practice. 50 seconds to go. So not looking like we're really going to super fill it here, which isn't a problem. Honestly, maybe a good thing with the guys we have here. There's plenty of room to race. Lots and lots of grip here. We'll destroy some of it in the heat race and in warm-ups for sure. That midway point of the feature is going to be really interesting. I imagine we'll see the bottom and the top work. Kind of however you set up your sprint car, you can make it work. 10-second Countdown commences. We'll go to the start-finish line. Hang out for that checkered flag as the dock comes across one final time. Checkered flag displayed, and we're going to get ready to go see who the quick man is here in qualifying. You guys may know the drill by now, but whoever hops in that race car first will give them the first lap of qualifying. So keep an eye out here on the overlay, looking like Michael Shoring. The 07 machine, it is going to be Mike. Let's see what this 07's got as we come through 3 and 4. Now, he's going to be one of the few probably that don't roll that top. 3 and 4 coming to the first lap. Might as well have that motor up full speed, really have it singing. Michael right now glued to the bottom there through 1 and 2. Same through 3 and 4. This could be a pretty good lap. Purple sector 1. Slower than his personal best through sector 2. So not what the 07 wants to do. Let's watch this final lap here as the Doc Mike Watson comes across the stripe. He's about 2.5 tenths back. Can Michael improve? He does. 15.27. Improved enough through sector 2. He was slower through 1 and slower through 2 on his personal best. Improving up on that second and final lap to find himself 3 tenths ahead of the rest of the field. Grady Airman, he gets up close and personal with that wall as Joe Johnson takes the lucky number 13 and puts it on the top step. Joe Johnson with a 15 double deuce, looking quicker. Purple, how fast is it? 14.93. Joseph Johnson out of this world. 3 tenths quicker than anyone who has put a lap down so far. Let's see if the driver of the 187 can compete with Joe here. Rick Main coming across. What's it look like? Only P3 for the 187 of 15.36. Needs a big improvement. Found it in sector 1. You see the purple on the bottom. That's quickest out of anybody. Rick Main quicker through 2. Only going to get him P2. 15.09. Still needs a 1/10.5. But boy, he found it through 1. Couldn't find any more speed through 3 and 4. And Nick Larry, his final time around, he parks at P4. Just up the road, Luke Mumma in the 69. So 9 drivers have put in a team. Not sure if the other guys possibly admins here. So we may only have these 9. But boy, oh boy. They're going to hope for maybe a track change. We need something to mix this up as, man, Joe Johnson. He is the dog. He is quick. And you didn't see him qualify. You didn't see him practice. I just saw him register in time on my SDK. Dean Reynolds. Going to be here. He'll take that final starting spot here. Heat race number 1. Let's take a look. Dino in the 79 to the outside of row 5. To the inside, the 5 of Grady Airman. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 6 of the Doc. Mike Watson to the inside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman. Row 3 to the outside, the 11 of Joseph Groom. To the inside, the 07 of Michael Shoring. Row 2 to the outside, the 43 of Nick Larry. To the inside, the 69 of Luke Mumma. Row 1 for heat race number 1 to the top shelf, the 187 of Rick Main. And starting on the pole, the lucky number 13 of Joseph Johnson. Obviously, with it being one and only heat race here, this will set the lineup for tonight's feature. I mean, we'll still go down the grid when we get there, but, you know, if you're watching, wherever your driver finishes, heat race. That's where he's going to start in the feature. I want to sit right here. You notice the 43, I think he was maybe moving that wing a little bit. I try to stare at their wings here, see if anybody tinkers, moves anything back. It's kind of the cheat. Show you if they're sliding at the beginning. Dino did make it there in the 79. No practice time. Dino may not need it. We'll see what he's got here as he just makes it in time. Probably doing a little coast-to-coast racing, I would think. That's another league that I broadcast for. I'll actually be broadcasting for them next Thursday as well. Guy going on vacation, so I told him I'd pick up the 2 shows, not the 3rd. Ain't skipping on you guys. No way. Jose. 8 laps to set the starting grid. This will be the final time around. Lights are off on the pace truck. If you're out there watching, John's comment really sketched me out about saying, hey man, can't really hear you. Please let me know if you guys can hear me. That would be awesome. As we roll off of turn 4 for the final time, they drop the hammer. We're underway. 8 to play. Heat race number 1. Rick Mayne trying to reel in that 13, but man, we had a little bit of a battle going on back here. The 43 of Nick Larry lost 2 spots on the drop. We watched Isaac Bowman pick up 2, the man right in front of him, as he takes a peek underneath, tries to slide up in front. Not going to clear him, and he's got to fall back into 6th. Nick Larry now trying to pick up the pieces here. Grady Ehrman thinking about taking a look underneath. As Rick Mayne losing touch with your leader, here comes Luke Bumma in the 69, trying to battle for 2nd. Luke, now he lost it, man. I'm jinxing guys tonight. He was right there. Now he's going to lose it. Now Michael Shoring, he's thinking about taking a peek as Michael goes to the top. Now he's going to go even higher through 1 and 2. Look for a diamond off. Hits the apron a little bit, rotates the car. Can't tell if it hurt or helped. Didn't help him get on by as Rick Mayne and Joe Johnson see 2 sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. Rick Mayne has reeled in the lucky number 13. We roll through 3 and 4. Let's see here. White flag displayed. Rick Mayne, as close as he's been, he's going to draw to the side. Loses a little grip. Final time through 3 and 4, and Joe Johnson should have enough. Checkered flag waves. He holds off Rick Mayne. Michael Shoring and Isaac Bowman round out the top 5. We got the 10-minute warm-up session, but remember, last week, this is we got to be on our toes. They're gonna just kind of advance this whenever they think the track's good, and we'll give them the best racing. And I'm all for that. So we'll just kind of hang out. Maybe take a look at some of these views. I'm going to crack an ice cold soda after another crappy day with the golf course. Be right back in a minute. right, so right now, heat race winner at the top of the charts. Rick Mayne hanging out there in a close P2. Nick, Larry, Michael Shoring, Isaac Bowman rounding out the top 5. And last time by, Joe hit his quickest lap at a 15:35. So 15:35, 15:65 for Rick Mayne. That's not what Rick wants to see. I mean, you can make up, a little bit. But boy, oh boy, he's going to need this track to slicken up a little bit, take some grip away from that 13, because man, Joe is going to be quick tonight. He may not leave here without a sponsor on that thing anymore. We'll have to see if maybe a good run helps him pick up some sponsorship dollars. Driving it off into one. Let's go find Luke Mumma for a little bit here. Let's do a lap with Luke. And he nailed that on entry. Might be more grip up top. I know some guys that'll try to just float that there on the bottom. You can see he can't really do that through 1 and 2. You can see it shined up. Maybe he hits that. I guess there still is a little bit of shine down there. Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm up in the booth. He's down there wheeling the race car. Most definitely the preferred line there for the 69. Shoring here in the 07. He's currently 5th. Isaac Bowman, 7th. Joseph Groom, the 11, 8th. The dock, Mike Watson, the last guy on the racetrack. Currently the last guy on the timing sheet. Plenty of stuff can happen in the dock. May just have the medicine here tonight, so we'll have to see what Watson's got. See, 4 minutes or so left here in warm-ups, and like I say, I would imagine we use up the majority of it here. Kind of try to wear in that high line a little bit, or kind of destroy that middle one. That's what Rick's focusing on right now. Notice Joe. I mean, it's been Sam Pitt beside his name for a long time. Driver of the 13, he wants this track to kind of hang out. He feels good. He's got a lot of speed. These guys, you sure you don't got to go to the bathroom? Go hang out for a little bit. I mean, that's definitely on the back of Joe's mind. This racetrack to kind of stay similar. I've always wondered, I'm one of those guys, I like to get out there, kind of feel what the track's like. We'll have to see if he gets out here one more time. Tries to put in a quick set of laps. Is Rick still out there. Nick Larry right in front of him still out there. The doc still out there. Lots of guys taking advantage of the track time. And what, really shouldn't say lots. It's kind of a 50-50 here. Four-car battle here. Doc says, I've got enough. I've had enough. He gets on out of there. Man, Rick using up every inch on the entry to turn 3 right there. I want to see, let's see, last time. made 1593, so it looked quick, but as you can see, speed maybe not there. I don't know. Maybe that is quick for right now. He wads it up. That's going to wreck 3 cars there. Practice may have been coming to him all week. Pretty good chance of that. Nope, there was not a good chance because I think we're pulling back out of the pits. Maybe just an uh-oh. Is Joseph the only guy on the racetrack whipping it around? Nick Larry, he was the engine we heard when I thought I heard somebody pulling out of the pits. Let's see, is he gonna? Looks like he is. He's gonna go back out there, get a couple more laps in. Blend right in with that 11 of Joseph Groom. Get a little bit of side-by-side action in. Dean Reynolds going to step out on the track for one last showdown. You know, you got to feel how it is before not ready to go feature racing. And it's always been my attitude. Let's see if Joseph Johnson comes back out. It's one more taste of the action before we drop that green flag. Nick and Joe still battling, having a little bit of fun here. 1 more minute left to play. Nick throws it to the inside. The 11 of Groom just a little too high and handsome there on the entry to 1. Not enough. Lost a grip on the bottom yet to go that wide around and have the payoff. All this power the 410 has. You know, get away with a little bit of wheel spin on the entry to corner as long as you're good coming off. And roll into the throttle pretty early. Entrance not going to kill you. Man, going that far around, it is such a huge difference between the inside and outside of the racetrack on entry. If you're battling a guy who's kind of throwing that slider on entry, I believe that was Nick Larry we were watching in the 43. It was. It's kind of, short slider and get to the outside as quick as he could and center of the corner. Pick up the throttle and exit. You know, you're cutting up so much of the racetrack when you do that. And it's definitely to your advantage if you have the clear lane and ability to do so. It's, kind of dumb not to, in my opinion. See what drivers take advantage of it here whenever we go racing. But before we go racing, we're going to have to take a look at our SCRA 410 feature starting lineup. Row 5 to the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 6 of the Doc, Mike Watson. Row 4 to the outside, the popsicle sticks of Joseph Groom. To the inside, the 5 of Grady Airman. Row 3 to the outside, the 43 of Nick Larry. To the inside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 07 of Michael Shoring. To the inside, the 69 of Luke Mumma. Row 1 for your 410 feature at the Knoxville Raceway. To the top shelf, the 187 of the real deal, Rick Main. And starting on the pole, the lucky number 13, your quick time, your winner in heat race number 1, and your fast time in warm-ups, Joseph Johnson. Joe looking good, ready to set the pace here tonight. Can Rick Main find a way on by? Can Michael Shoring, the 07, find a way to needle that thing on through the 2 guys in front of him? Maybe get a 2-for-1 early, or can Luke Mumma strike from the inside of row 2, or could it be one of the boys back in the back? What a story would be for Dino. Didn't qualify, didn't practice. What if he could park this thing on the podium tonight. We'll have to see. Plenty of storylines out there tonight. You pick one, man. Find your own poison. Plenty to go around as we roll through 3 and 4. For the final time, we're going to see Pace Truck dive off. They're going to drop the hammer. The green flag waves. We're underway. 30 laps at the Knoxville Raceway. Boy, you saw their contact in the back. No caution flag. Those 3 continue. Oh, we do get a caution. We do get a caution. I kind of assumed we would. Not going to get help with an iRacing thing here. That will be admin based. You know, it kind of had a little bit of a hiccup. Let's see, it was the 69, I think, of Luke Mumma, and I think with the admin caution, Luke's going to get that spot back, but you'll see a lot of stuff happens here. I'll be interested to see what the admins say about this. We could see people slipping and sliding all around. So you see Rick Mayne, he gets a little bit of a late jump. He does come down, but I mean, I don't think that's a problem. The 69 then tries to lift out of the throttle and then gives it a bunch of throttle, pulls a wheelie, goes up the racetrack. And from there, Dino maybe went down to try to avoid those 2 cars, but you see the 6 machine of the doc, Mike Watson, he didn't realize there's a stack up top. And, well, you can see there, admins didn't like it. I don't like it either. Re-rack them, restack them. Go out here and try it one more time. Definitely, I'll tell you, I don't even know if they listen to this here, but, if any of the admins are listening, caution flag like that will never make this broadcaster mad. In fact, I wish every freaking league I did had an admin team like that and would treat it like that, because no racetrack around the country would they let a restart like that go. And, man, I applaud them for doing the right thing. Let's see, Pace Truck going to pull back off. We're back underway. The 13 drops the hammer. Good jump here. Let's take a look. They're already side by side. Grady Airman to the inside of Nick Larry, but Larry with a big run off of 2. He's able to shut the door as they enter 3. And Rick Mayne right back to where he left off in the heat race. Oh, but with a little bit of a slide job through 1, side by side, going down the backstretch. Oh, Joseph Johnson, he's right back down to the inside. He took it right back. Lots of... We'll see. I'll turn my desktop sounds down, and I got to turn me back down on Discord. Somebody yell at me if the sounds are too low, but you probably heard my mic cut out. I'm going to get excited when I turn up my mic too loud. Well, my computer doesn't like to process it, and it likes to cut me off. And, man, Rick Mayne out front, he doesn't have to cut anybody off. He is gone. He is off to the races. And Nick Larry trying to run down Isaac Bowman. Let's see. I mean, no real close battles on the racetrack here. Guys kind of spread out. Take a look for yourself here, actually. Let's watch them off at 2. Comes your leader, Rick Mayne, but battle's starting to heat up a little bit for second. You're seeing Shuring kind of tug at that leash a little bit. Joseph staying on the inside, maybe thinking about tire wear in that 13. Doesn't want to go up top just yet. And then as I say that, enters a little higher into 3, likes the bottom though, in 1 and 2. Going to follow Rick Mayne down there. A little bit of a shadow there in the 3 cars up front, and we got a 3-car pack behind. Isaac Bowman leads that battle. Nick Larry on the high side, but Luke Mumma got that 69 purring. Had a mistake there on the opener. Had to drop back to the tail. But Luke Mama now trying to get some spots back. Gonna throw a slide job. All clear. But now the 43 of Nick Larry cuts a rug underneath. He takes it back at the line. And these boys, they go right back at it side by side on the exit of 2. What are we gonna do? And we had a hiccup out front. Rick Main, he loses the lead. Whoa, what happened there? We're gonna do a bit of a rewind. We'll go right back. So Rick, you can see him just fishtailing there up top and just lost the grip. 13 back to the lead. Joe Johnson maybe was saving a little bit of tire there in the opener and now willing to go up top. Shut the door on Rick Main. Oh, the 187. He's going to wonder what he's got to do here. This 13 is an absolute rocket ship. 16 laps to go. Rio! Wild ride over and over the top 2. Oh, we... Okay, all right, we are going to get this right. I promise. Large-bodied American behind, not to get loud when something happens like that. Let's take a look at this. So you'll see, I mean, this is, are we going to get it here? Let's see, do we get it here? Nope, we wouldn't get it. Now, this is, I know Rick's getting a big run on the bottom. I know. But boy, I mean, this is, let's see here. You won't be able to see my mouse on the screen, but I mean, hey, you take a look at yourself. That's 4 sprint cars, maybe 5. I mean, that is from downtown. You know, in basketball, that shot's worth 5 points, I think. And I know Joe kind of cutting down, but that was from deep, and Rick trying to come up. Top 2 dogs, they end up back on the porch here, licking their wounds. That is a wild ride, and really opens the door now for the rest of the field here. That is quite the chain of events. We'll see if maybe they towed in time to get that thing back out there. I mean, I looked at the replay pretty long, and the lights are still on in the pace truck, I believe. So they may have extended it to get them back out there, which is another thing I'm totally cool with. You know, you just got to be across the board with it. Do that. Do it for some people. I'm gonna try to do it for all. Not saying that they haven't or won't. I mean, you know, when you start doing stuff like that, you kind of got to be a little bit more uniform with it. Lights still on the pace truck, so not going back just yet here. We'll see. Sorry about being so quiet. I'm trying to talk to you guys, and then while I'm doing that, I'm staring at my mic levels. Just trying to adjust everything. I don't expect, you know, anybody to write back to me. But if you do want to write back to me, let me know if it's too loud, too low. You can. It definitely will help ease my anxiety. That's for sure. Is everybody back out there on the racetrack? Rick Main, tail end of the field. Joe Johnson right in front of him. Keep an eye out here for the 13 of Joe Johnson. He was quick. Does he have enough time to get through the field? We're going to have 15 laps left. I mean, this race was cut in half. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We're back underway. 15 laps to play. Saw a good move there by Nick Larry. Excuse me, that was the Luke Mama. in the 69. No, it wasn't. It was Isaac Bowman in the nut. No, it wasn't. 9 up to 5th already. The 13 wasting no time. Make it 4th. Joe, 2 for 1 on that lap. Trying to get one more on the bottom of 1 and 2. Joe Johnson got that 13 screaming in the basement. He is back up to the podium. Joe, plenty of time here. 11 laps to play. And Michael shoring 1 second up the road. But that's a pretty big carrot here. We know money's on the line. Points are on the line. Joe wants this thing. He's got to go for it. Luke trying to pinch him down on the entrance of 1. Joe going to make it stick, though, on the bottom. They're side by side. Give it to the 13 on corner entry. The 69 going to try to scream back on the top shelf of 4. Can't answer the door. Joe Johnson up the P2. Caution flag waves. Isaac Bowman involved in our second caution here. Oh, I'd say so. Maybe the 79 involved as well. So you see Bowman. Just Dino gets a big run behind. Bowman kind of slides up. Dino tries to cut underneath, but I think that tail slide, he just, made Dean catch him a lot faster than he thought he was going to. And Isaac, with a hard shot on that right front, brings out another caution. He'll be able to drive that thing around, get it repaired. You see, he already did. Back to new. He'll be out there ready to dance one more time. His light's still on the pace trucks. They're not going to go back and play just yet. A little bit more twiddle your thumb time here. Take a look at this big half-mile racetrack. I mean, this lots and lots of room here to play. Never been here, and I'm in Pennsylvania. I am gonna go to Iowa. I actually met plenty of people here through iRacing. I actually met the mayor of a town not too far away from here. I call some of his races. I'm gonna hit him up to stay in his town when I go to this thing. One of these years, I will be at the Knoxville Nationals. That is a dream. So would love to go to Eldora for the King's Royal. I mean, not to put down dirt late models. I know you guys probably like. Not a big fan. I like the wings. I think puts on a good show. The type of show I'm used to in Central PA is we're back and ready to play 8 laps at the Knoxville Raceway. Joe, that's what he needed, man. He got kind of roughed up, lost the lead at that halfway point, but now he jumps the cushion, tries to cut underneath. He's going to be able to do it, but wild ride there for the 13. Man, Joe not making it easy on himself here. Had nobody to blame but himself on that one, but he's able to settle the horse down and hold on. And here comes Grady Airman. I remembered this time. I'm going to put 43 on the side of that. Grady now on the outside, 3 wide is Rick Main. Welcome back to the dance. Here comes the 187. He gets a little shot in the pants, but there's a battle for the lead. Shoring shuts the door. Johnson gets into him. There's contact. Mama goes around. Oh, man, it is getting vicious here at the Knoxville Raceway. We saw the contact kind of start up front. Now, let's see here. So Joe gets into the back of him there, kind of moves him up the racetrack. And if I'm the 07, I probably do that same thing. And don't just leave the can wide open. You wanna hang on to that thing. You feel because he lost that spot. But I mean, definitely No, he may not know he's there. No, I may not. No contact, actually. So can't blame Joe for any contact there. He's all clear of the contact. The 07, after getting loose, there's a good chance didn't know the 13 was down there. And I think admins might see it the same way here, just a racing incident. Now, interesting, though, the 69 not charged with the caution. I thought he would have been. He did that full 360. Just in what I mean by charged by iRacing. Would be moved to the back here. And I was going to say maybe that is happening, but no, Rick going to give that spot back. That's, not any fault of Luke's, but he was the one who looped around in the 360. But maybe stayed in it enough to keep it green, and the admin caution possibly allows him to keep his spot, which is probably the right move. Pace truck dives off. We're going to have a 5-lap shootout at the Knoxville Raceway. Schuring with a good jump. Let's see what the 13 can do. Immediately to the bottom through 1 and 2, and Schuring felt the pressure. Gets in the outside wall. Going to lose the lead. Can he hold on to second? He can for now. Going to throw in a big slider. Try to get to the outside. Try to run back down that 13. But Rick Mayne, welcome back to the podium in the 187. As he completes the pass caution flag one more time. The 79 of Dean Reynolds, stuck in the outside wall here after a wild ride. See, he may have gotten some help here from the 9. Isaac Bowman, couldn't tell. Yeah, he may have gotten a little bit of help here, and Dino stuck in the wall. He goes for a nice ride up there through 3 and 4. Definitely not what you want to see there if you're Dino, and tough break for these guys up front. They're just trying to race this thing out, but cautions have kind of been happening behind them. Let's go on board here. Yeah, just maybe thought he was clear, fed him a little dinner. We're under caution for the 5th time here as Joseph Johnson leads the way out front again. He's had an eventful race, man. Led this thing, had some contact with the 187, lost the lead. Now found his way back. Still got to hold this thing off. We're going to have a 3-lap shootout. The 07 of Michael Schuring behind him in the 187 of Rick Mayne sitting there on that final step of the podium. He'd sure like another crack at the lead here. But I'm sure he's going to, try to behave himself this time. You wouldn't want to feed the guy in first place 2 right rears. So you got to be careful here if you're Rick Mayne. And you kind of pretend you're walking on ice out there. Roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. Lights are off on the pace truck. He pulls off. Joe drops the hammer. We're back underway. Getting a predictable restart, though. Went in that same spot, and you see Schuring with a pretty good jump, able to stay on the tail. But here comes Rick Mayne to the outside. The 187. Oh, he's ready to dance. He's going to show the left rear there to the 07 Schuring. Can't drive it in deep. He's got to behave. And now Ehrman, he thought about going for that final step to the podium, but we got a 2-lap shootout here. Joe Johnson leading the way. Rick Mayne right behind. You see the gap. It's at about 0.3 of a second in the middle of 3 and 4. Joe really extends it on the bottom, and with 1 flag to go, he's ready to reach up and grab that checker. Final time down the backstretch. Good run for Rick Mayne. Joe going to glue it to the bottom for the final time. Can Rick get there? The answer is no. Joe Johnson gets the checkered flag at the Knoxville Raceway. Followed by Rick Main. Michael Shoring rounds out your podium. Luke Mumma fourth. And Isaac Bowman rounds out the top 5. Good for Joe to get that 13 back on the top step where, oh, what a wild 360. I don't know what we want to call that. I mean, a McTwist? I mean, he did a little wing tap and put that thing right back on all 4s. What a move there for the 13 of Joe Johnson. I'm going to go back to that long green flag run here. See if we can steal that for the boys. Oh, Pella, Iowa. Okay, we're going to have to ask Mike. Oh, the Slideways Karting Center. So, all right. Well, we got some questions for this guy. So, I know the guy who finished, I think, 3rd last year in the Slideways go-kart event. They do a big event every year. They do their own Knoxville Nationals during that time. And I knew someone out there doing it. Let's see if we can maybe talk to him about it. Hey, Michael, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, all right. I got so many questions for you. Okay. Now I see Pella, Iowa. Now I'm no map, but how close are we to Knoxville? Would you consider this close?
I would say about 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's close as hell, man. I mean, that's how close I am to Williams Grove in Lincoln. Now, the other one, I see your Slideways Karting Center. Now, do we work there, or do we just like participating in their big go-kart, thing that they put on every year during Knoxville?
I've won their mini nationals and I've run their leagues weekly throughout the year for a couple of years now, and I'm gonna be going back this year to run mini nationals again. Hopefully, get another one.
That is so awesome. So I think he got 3rd, maybe 4th last year. But I know a guy out there from Iowa. His name's Brandon Dittmer. He runs that thing. So pretty small world, but that's neat. But Mike, man, back to tonight, dude. You find yourself kind of gifted into the lead there. You see the front 2 kind of take each other out. I mean, what's going through your head? Did you think they'd have enough time to get back to you? I mean, with the way that initial race pace had gone, it looked like it was going to be all you out there.
Yeah, I knew if I hung back that most likely they would step on it because I've raced them in the past, and I know that usually they race really close, and when you're racing close, that's usually when the worst can happen. And unfortunately, we just kept getting cautions. Otherwise, I feel like I could have extended the lead just enough where I could have held on to it. But unfortunately, we got a couple cautions there, and then me and Joseph had contact, but we managed to hold on to 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, a group of drivers like this bringing home P3 in a long season. These podiums are going to add up. That's a hell of a run, Michael. Congratulations on the 3rd, man. Who you want to thank?
Just gotta thank Slideways, Jocko's, Metcalf Photography, Raise the Bar, and support F&D awareness for Ty Dickinson, because he's a great guy, and it sucks that he has that condition, but we're supporting him. And obviously gotta thank my girlfriend and everybody that was watching, and obviously John and so for putting the race on, and also everybody else for racing and making it a good strength of field for the night.
Well, hey, man, hell of a run, Michael. And if you ever come across Brandon Dittmer out there, you wreck him for me, okay?
Oh, I do.
All right, Michael, great run, man. And hurry up. We all got some sprint car racing to watch on Dirt Vision.
All righty.
Michael bringing home P3 there. We might have to, a name like that, we might have to call him the sure thing. It fits, but I call this guy the real deal because he's quick everywhere he goes. Rick, man, this was more of an exciting race for you. A little bit of contact there for the lead, and you and Joe got to battle your way back through the pack. And we all know, man, on a slicked up racetrack, not easy to do. How'd you navigate your way back to P2?
Yeah, I've already apologized to Joe like 4 times. That was just a bonehead mistake on my part. I knew he ran that cut down like 2 laps in a row, but in my brain, he was railing the top, and I was gonna throw one of those scary sliders to try to get him out of his groove, and like it, I just murdered him. So that was horrible on my side, but. Yeah, man, I feel like it was probably more fun for the viewers that we got to go to the rear, so that was a lot of fun getting to kind of come through the field. He was definitely better than I was. I was messing up on the bottom, and he was hitting it pretty good every time. So he went through the field a lot quicker than I did. And then I think there on that final restart, I don't think I had anything for him. I was talking to him. It sounded like we were running very similar lap times. So the track had multiple grooves, but they were similar speed there at the end. So I don't know that I could have done anything. Maybe another 5 laps, find something. But yeah, shout out to Joe. Apologize again, and Michael for the podiums for sure.
Hey man, it's dirt racing, and it's my channel, so I'm allowed to curse. You know how it is. Shit happens, and you just gotta rub it off and go back there racing. That's exactly what you did, man. You both managed to pick your way through the field, and that second half while you're picking your way through the field. I mean, lots and lots of cautions. What's going through your head, man? I saw you pick off two at one point. Had to give them both back when that caution flag flew. I mean, is that frustrating for you?
Yeah, that one was a little bit, but honestly, I was just trying to not be part of any more cautions, and then
Been there.
really focus on those restarts. I feel like I've gotten much better with the restarts, especially with this new field of view package that Beerline hooked me up with. So that's helped a ton, and the progress is showing it.
Well, hey, man, hell of a run tonight. Drive that thing back up to P2 after that early contact. And like I say, man, you race hard. Stuff like that's going to happen. But it's fun watching you guys move up through the pack. Hell of a show tonight, Rick. Who you want to thank on the P2?
Yeah, just you know, if you've noticed, we got a new team. We made the switch from Inferno over to Horizon. Got an opportunity. Obi-Wan Racing sponsored me, so we can go over to, Aiden Beerline is doing our sets with the RTB. They're really fast. So just all those guys, Slideways, Highline Cinematography, and I want to thank you for coming over and doing this broadcast. I know we just bailed you out of a Wednesday night deal where we weren't getting a lot of, cars. And now they fixed a car count on Wednesday over at C2C, so we're gonna buckle down and fix that for you, give you a little better show.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate that. You always do a good job of putting on a hell of a show, man. Always exciting when you're in the car, and it was again tonight. Great run. And, man, talk about exciting. I'm at the replay point right now where you guys made contact. Your barrel rolling end over end. But, hey, hell of a run tonight, Rick, and way to make it a good show.
Thanks, Shaggy.
Now, we brought up the wrong guy. We're going to send the owner of the league back. We're going to bring up the actual winner, those Jays, Joe. That's what got me there. I'll tell you. I mean, we heard the apologies time after time, and we've all been there, man. You don't want it to happen, but when you get taken out there in the battle for the lead, did you really think, hey, 16 laps, man, I can drive myself back up to the front and win this thing?
I don't know. It was tough, but I had faith. It was the cars in front of us were pretty. I mean, quite a bunch slower than us. Or behind us at the time, but in front of us then. But it wasn't bad. I had no doubts that me and Rick could run it back up to the top three.
Now, obviously, you got to kind of go where they ain't, is the phrase. And when you're working your way back up through the field, man, you had a lot of success on the bottom, but we kind of noticed you running that earlier, even when you were in the lead. Did you plan for that? Did you want to go to the bottom, or was that just kind of what opened up for you?
I ran the top a couple times. I ran cup down there in that feature, but I couldn't quite get a line to work as good as bottom, so I kind of just committed to the one line, didn't go away from it. But I mean, besides that, I don't think there was any speed anywhere else on the track, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely, kind of that awkward transition stage. But Joe, man, I'll tell you, you really opened my eyes here tonight. I like to keep it positive for you guys, but when you drop that hammer 15 laps to go, I was hoping you'd get it back up to the podium. But man, to drive this thing back up to a win, that is a hell of a drive, and man, it's really gonna open eyes. Congratulations on the big win, brother. Who you want to thank?
Thank you. Just gotta thank Aiden Bearline at Raise the Bar Setups. He is the sole person that is building our setups, and honestly, we couldn't do it without him. Michael Schuring, Rick Main, we're all a part of the RTV family, and the setups that he's been making are really good. That's really all I gotta thank.
Oh man, I wish I would have known. I should have looked at that RTB and realized when Rick said that. So, are you guys on the same team, or do you just run out of the same setup shop?
No, so it's kind of weird. Me and Aiden have known each other for a while, so I'm pretty much like the only house driver for RTV themselves. Everyone else kind of goes through our Horizon Sim Sports or just buying themselves.
Oh man, you might have to crack the whip on Rick, and if he does that to you again. But hey, hell of a run, Joe. Congrats on the win, man, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Joe Johnson bringing home the win here at the Knoxville Raceway, and that's going to wrap up our Thursday night SCRA 410 Sprint Car Show. I'm Zach Chapman with ShaggyTV, thanking you for tuning all in this long. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the show next Thursday, 9 Eastern. We'll be back here live. Don't miss it. Have a good one.